according to Adrian Wojnarowski, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks have agreed in principle to Luka Vildoza, one of the top playmaking guards in Europe. The deal is a 4-year, $13.6 million deal. Now, 3 of those years are non-guaranteed. Let me read the article for you. Luka Vildoza, an Argentine guard with Baskonia, the Spanish ACB League, has agreed in principle to a 4-year, $13.6 million deal with the New York Knicks. Vildoza is one of the premier playmakers in Europe. He'll fly to New York once he clears the immigration process. There's no clear timetable for his arrival this season, but based on immigration and the physicals and protocols and all of that stuff that he has to go through. Right now, the Knicks had the salary cap and roster spot to get ahead of summer free agency and secure Vildoza now. He's 25 years old, and he would have been one of the top available free agent point guards this summer. So the Knicks made a move early. They said, let's get this out the way. There's the three non-guaranteed years on the contract gives the Knicks a chance to evaluate Vildoza, in the Olympics, in the summer league, and training camp, and all of that good stuff. And it also gives him the ability to put him in trades after or during the draft because his contract extends beyond 1 year. It's a good move by the New York Knicks. Smart move. I mean, they put themselves in a good position. Andy has a little bit more insight, so I'm going to come over to Andy and let Andy, break it down a little bit. Again, the Knicks have signed or agreed in principle to a 4-year, $13.6 million deal with Luka Vildoza. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get into it a little bit, break this thing down. Andy, what's going on with you, my brother? How are you feeling? And talk to me a little bit about this deal with Luka.
What up, the panel. The Luka thing, like you said, it's a deal in principle. We heard about Luka Vildoza. We heard over 2-3 weeks ago. But the deal took a little bit longer than we were thinking because for one, European teams basically, if they have to release a player from his current contract, for one, they have a buyout, which was $2 million for Luka, which is another stipulation because the NBA team can only in the current season can pay up to $750,000. So the rest Luka had to come up himself, right? And it's not like he earned that amount of cash that he just opened the bank and just pulled it out. So probably that there was a little bit of logistics there. And the other thing is that European teams tend to firstly find a replacement for the guy that they're going to release, and then they, are able to, to release the player, right? The reports were that they're going to, sign a guy named Dallas Moore, an American guard. But if I'm correct, they didn't, it didn't pan out perfectly, so that's why also probably the few days of a holdup. Well, now, like you said, it's the immigration process, probably just the testing and logistics, which means packing, flying, and the rest of the basic stuff. I'm expecting Luka to be in the States after we come back from the road trip, so he might be available for the last 3 games. Then again, if he never, practiced with the team, I wouldn't expect him getting minutes. Maybe if it's going to be a huge blowout. But, like I said, the first time, I don't think we might even see Luka this season. But like you said, it's a 4-year deal. It's guaranteed only for this year, which is $3.5 million. And this is, also going back to the buyout with the $2 million buyout. That's why this year's is guaranteed, right? So he handled his business, and his agent did a great job. Signing that guaranteed deal so he can be on the plus even this year. Just to mention about his agent, he also represents Giannis Antetokounmpo, Dennis Schroeder, Tomas Satoransky, Facundo Campazzo, which we're going to see probably tonight.
Mm-hmm.
He also represents the other two Antetokounmpo brothers and one Knicks player, which is Alec Burks. And that's from interesting stuff about his agent. The other huge star that he represents is Bam Adebayo from the Heat. So he only represents 14 players, but the salary, the payroll for those players next year is almost 89 million. So if he has a couple of percent cut from that, that's a good job.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me, what do you think? What are his chances of being, in your opinion, of being a? Let's start with starting point guard in the NBA. What are his chances of being a starting point guard in the NBA, based on your knowledge of him?
Well, percentage-wise, I think it's lower than 5%. I know that he has the skill set and stuff like that, but he's more of a bench player as far as I see it. Yet to mention that he also came off the bench even in Europe some games. So he was the captain for Baskonia, but he wasn't always the starter because, they play a couple of games a week because they have, the league game, the EuroLeague game, and it's not that easy to travel like in the States. Not every team has, their plane and they just pop up after a game. Most of the teams still fly commercial, and the logistics in Europe are like 20 years behind the NBA. Let's be true about that. So I rather see him his career go starting at least off the bench, but he might show us some skill sets that Knicks fans will love. That Argentinian blood, pesky defender. He also can score. His pull-up game is tremendous. He can shoot the three. He can break down the offense. And just remember me saying this, his floaters and, driving game going high off the glass. I don't think you guys saw players going high off the glass like he's going to go. That's just wild how he takes it. Okay, it's like unnatural even. So this is gonna be crazy when you see that shot going in.
Okay. Why are we trusting what Andy says?
Because Andy knows what he's talking about. Look, we don't need you to come in here disrupting.
Pretty much.
Law and order right now, right? Crossover. Look,
I said it's cornerstone, not no darn crossover.
See, right now we're gonna need you to be seen and not heard. Once again, let Andy finish. Go ahead.
Hey, G-Man. He's the king of the crossover. He is the cornerstone of the crossover. Okay. He is the cornerstone of the crossover. He's got a whole introduction on this show. The king of the crossover, the cornerstone of the crossover. Crossover Kev. Anyway, Andy, could you please finish letting us know, telling us about a guy that you have experience watching, a guy that you have intel about, have had intel about before a lot of other people here in the States?
Yeah, and Sim, just to add, we got to realize that he's 25 years old, so he still has ways to go. Yeah. There were late bloomers in the NBA, and it's not only about late blooming, but for example, Joe Ingles, he was a rookie at 27 years old. Not to mention, Luca's idol Pablo Prigioni. He was 34, if I'm correct, and he was a rookie, and he still got the Knicks minutes, and those were valuable minutes. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not going to say that he's not going to pan out, but I don't see Thibs starting him next season. So let's not go that way ahead of ourselves and of Luka, right?
Will he be in the rotation, you think?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
Yeah, about the rotation, me personally, I would play him even over quickly. That's for sure.
Oh, wow.
And people are gonna say that I'm a quickly hater, but I think as I would love.
Especially how he's playing now.
Hey, let's just call a spade a spade. You don't like it, Andy.
No. It's not about that. I just prefer
Andy,
my point guard to have other kind of skill set, right? So I'd go with Luka with there, but he can easily play alongside Derrick Rose and quickly. So that's how versatile he is, and how he's gonna recognize the lineup that he's in to keep everyone happy as the main floor general and point guard. And just to remind you guys, two interesting things also about Argentinian players. One I was talking about also before the season was Facundo Campazzo, which now is probably going to start versus us tonight at Denver. And the other guy, the other Argentinian national team player from Europe that was signed barely 2 weeks ago, was Gabriel Deck from Argentina, but he was signed by the OKC Thunder.
Right.
So, there's a haul of NBA teams getting those Argentinian players in the NBA. And, I think it's maybe not a trend because, more and more, not American players get into the NBA, every year coming through. But I think it's kind of a way that NBA teams are starting to value that international talent, and that they can, plug them in the NBA systems. So we're probably going to see that happening more and more often.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, how, when he finally gets here. I mean, you're right. He's not going to play much this season unless the Knicks are blowing somebody out or get blown out. So they get him here. He's tradable at the trade deadline, right? Because his contract extends beyond next year, even though there are 3 non-guaranteed years. His contract extends beyond the trade deadline, so they can use him in the trade if they want to. They got time. They got the summer to work with him. They have summer league. They got training camp. They have all this time to kind of work with him, get him in the system, and really see what he can do instead of just throwing him out there now. And he gets a chance to, ingratiate himself with the team a little bit, understand the culture that the Knicks are building, and all those type of things. So I think they put him in a good situation, and they put themselves in a good situation to have a chance to, see what the guy is about and how he works with the team. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. But again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, what we've been talking about is the New York Knicks agreeing with Luka Vildoza on a 4-year, $13.6 million contract. Again, according to Adrian Wojnarowski, Luka Vildoza, one of the top playmaking guards in Europe, has agreed in principle to a 4-year, $13.6 million with the New York, to a 4-year, $13.6 million deal with the New York Knicks, according to his agent, Alex Sarachis. I don't know if I said his name correctly. So we will see what Luka looks like.
You said it wrong.
I probably did say it wrong. I probably did. But we're going to see what he looks like when he gets here, man. And I'm excited. I always love to see new players come in. Even if they're right now they're sitting on the end of the bench. I love to see them guys come in and, see what they can do. Because you never know when one of those guys, going to take off like a Jeremy Lin took off or something like that. But let's get down. Let's talk about this game here, man. This is going to be an interesting game. Let's take a look at the injury reports first. Okay. And then I want to look at the lineups. And then we'll, go ahead and start breaking some things down. All right, according to the NBA, this was today at 1:30. For the Denver Nuggets, Will Barton, he's out. PJ Dozier is out. Okay, so now I even got to change up my lineup because PJ Dozier is out. Nikola Jokic is probable. Monte Morris is out. Of course, Jamal Murray is out. And Zeke Naji is probable. For the Knicks, Novell Pell is questionable. Sprained his right ankle in the last game. Nerlens Noel is questionable. Alec Burks, he's probably going to play. Okay. So for the Denver Nuggets, go ahead,
I just got a tweet from Ian Begley. Just reported Nerlens Noel is expected to play Wednesday against Denver. At least it's confirmed. So they're looking at him playing tonight.
Okay, good.
He should good for something.
You know, we need him to be out there playing. We got to have him out there tonight, especially with if Pell isn't going to be able to go. You got to, you can't rely only on Taj Gibson and then Julius Randle at the backup 5. You know what I'm saying? If we do that, we could be looking for trouble. A lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Now, PJ Dozier is out. PJ Dozier played in the previous game versus the Lakers with the Nuggets. I did not expect him to be out tonight, but looks like he's going to be out tonight, which, again, changes up this entire lineup. Now I'm trying to figure out who's going to be that coming off the bench at the shooting guard spot, and Austin Rivers maybe? Could be Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers played 33 minutes against the Lakers in the previous game. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Let me see who else might they start. JaMychal Green, he could get in there. He's more of a power forward though. So I don't know who they would switch around. So I'm assuming it's not going to be him. Shaquille Harrison. So I'm thinking it's going to be Austin Rivers. Most likely that they're throwing that in that lineup now that PJ Dozier is out. So I'm going to put Austin Rivers in here. All right, so watch out. Austin Rivers may be looking to have a monster game. All right, since, he might be looking to have a monster game against us. Who knows? I don't know. All right, but let's...
He might have a grind.
You say he might what?
What'd you say, G-Man? What is it?
He might have a bone to grind. He might be feeling the certain. He might be in his feelings right now.
He's got a bone.
Him be in his feelings.
He does. He definitely does. At least in his mind, he probably does.
Yeah.
In his mind, he does. I don't know about anything else, but in his mind, he does. So what I want to look at.
Probably won't even translate to the game.
Oh, we'll see. This is what I want to look at. The Denver Nuggets lineup changed from the first time we played them to the last time that we played them. Because it's definitely significant. All right, the first time that we played the Denver Nuggets, they had Jamal Murray starting at point guard, Gary Harris at shooting guard, Will Barton at small forward, Paul Millsap at power forward, and Aaron Gordon. And I don't know why I put Aaron Gordon there. That's supposed to be Nikola Jokic. I don't know what happened. Hold up. Let me switch that around.
You know what's going on, Sim? You have G-Men on this panel, so all your mistakes are a result of him. So that's the reason why you're making all these mistakes. I'm just saying. Let's keep it real.
Oh, man, he's coming at you, G. So let me change that. Bam. It should have changed.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Don't worry. I don't blame you.
All right. Well, I've been in front of this thing all day long since 8 o'clock
but I'm still
this
not gonna
morning.
blame you.
So
a
little bit tired, and I'm hungry.
Whenever you let guys off the street, that's going to happen. So
anyway,
what you got up on the screen right now?
Yeah. So when you look at the Denver's lineup changes from the first time we played them to today, they had Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, Will Barton, Paul Millsap, and Nikola Jokic. Right? That was their starting 5. When you look at it today, you got Facundo Campazzo, Austin Rivers, most likely, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. Everybody's different except for Jokic. Everybody is different. Right. How do you even, if you're Tom Thibodeau, I'm not even sure that you can You can't take anything from the previous game. This is like a totally new game plan that you've got to use for this team. A totally new game plan.
Why? Because players are out, Sim? Because players are out, or?
Yeah, because they got a totally new starting lineup.
Yeah, child. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got a totally new starting lineup. So I'm gonna start with you, G-Man. How are you? I guess you just addressed this like it's a brand new team. Even the bench is different.
Yeah. I mean, based on the amount of people that got out, and for whatever reason, I know Jokic is being reported for being day-to-day as well. So, I mean, you never know what you're going to get. So the best option Tibb has right now is a review tape from the last game that was played by the Nuggets, right? And then I think that in Tibbs' mind, and rightfully so from my point of view, it should be more so about the Nuggets preparing for the Knicks versus the Knicks preparing for the Nuggets. So when we come into their stadium, right? I don't care who you got on the court. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter to me. Now, mind you, there are some key players out there that we got to stay focused on and make sure that we kind of contain them or whatever the case may be. But when the physicality of the New York Knicks comes to town, people got to stand. You don't stand up and take notice. And if you watch the game that the Nuggets played against the Lakers, that it was more evident then. The Nuggets can't handle physical basketball play right now. I don't know what's going on with them, but they don't like bodies on bodies. So I would say at this point, I will watch the game they played against the Lakers, and then modify my game plan to, whatever my rotation is. If I need to, make some adjustments in my rotation, how many minutes people play versus how many they don't, who's available, who's not. Noel is available now, so that does something at the 5 position. So I feel confident that tonight I'm going to get me a supersized chicken nugget meal with spicy mustard, and it's going to be all good. I'm going to be sitting back later on taking me a Popeye nap. As Kev said, I'm an old man, so I'm going to get me a Popeye nap in there, but I'm going to get this nugget dinner first.
Okay.
Now that I can see you close up, put those dentures away too, all right?
Listen, don't let Auntie Steph separate
This
you
man
guys
is coming in. This man's coming in on fire. I don't know what Kev did
Auntie
today.
Steph separate them.
I don't know. I think Kev wrote down a whole bunch of jokes. I think over the past 2 days he's been writing down jokes and some things that he's gonna say, and he came in ready to go. Steph, what do you think?
You know what, Sam? I'm gonna tell you why, Sam. Hold on, before Auntie Steph go, I'm gonna tell you why Kev had done do that. Because Kev is like that dude named Tommy off Martin that claims to have a job but really don't. He's sitting there right now with the headset on, making you think that he's at work. Not the case. Not the case. He got a whole bunch of time on his hand right now. So I need you to go ahead, just be quiet. Don't shh. Children should be seen and not heard. I'm sorry, Auntie Steph. Go ahead.
Sorry, Auntie Steph.
Oh, child with the Auntie Steph. Okay. I think I forgot the question with all of this.
All this commotion that Kev come in causing commotion.
Why is it me? Always picking on me.
We were talking about the lineups. And how do you game plan for this Nuggets team with such a drastic change in the lineup?
I think it's going to be tough, but like G-Man said, I think he has to look and see how they've been playing over the past few games and see what he can pick up from that and use that as part of the game plan. I do think a lot of what's going to happen tonight is really based on the Knicks, and the Knicks definitely being mentally tough, coming in, not making excuses for the altitude. I mean, it is a factor, don't get me wrong, but not making too much of it. So I think that's the number one thing. And I think he probably did watch the past few games and picked up some things in terms of what they're doing that's different than the first time. I tell you what, I'm concerned that Gordon is in that lineup. Porter is in that lineup. People who can really score. So defensively, we really have to be on point, because the thing that happens is if you let somebody get hot, your defense can be excellent. Doesn't really matter at that point, Right. So it's really important that we come out and play really good defense from the start.
Right. Right. Even the bench, Andy, is different. Right. I'm gonna come to Andy, then I'm gonna come to Kev. Even the bench is a little bit different. Right. They, there's no Monte Morris, no PJ Dozier. Facundo Campazzo is starting.
Is Millsap still there?
Even that, yeah, Millsap is still there, but he didn't play against. He didn't play against the Lakers in the previous game.
Oh wow!
He got no minutes.
Okay.
Coach's decision.
Yeah.
All right. So it's definitely different. Andy, looking at the lineups, and who's out. The Knicks come in and win this game. Does it mean the same to you?
Yeah, basically, I think you're right. It's also like you said. There's no scouting report from our previous game versus them, but I'm guessing that the Knicks coaching staff get their preparation from the last games of Denver, right? Which basically they probably saw the lineup of Michael Porter Jr. with Aaron Gordon, with Jokic playing, with Campazzo, right? So I'm guessing that they're going to go based off of that. And to be true, I think both Gordon and MPJ, they played terrific off Jokic. So, both RJ and Julius, they're going to have to be running, on defense after those guys. And that those guys, I think, might be even more athletic than Randall and then RJ. By athletic, I mean faster. They're not stronger probably, but they're definitely going to be faster. And even last game versus who did we play last game versus not the Rockets, just
Memphis.
the Grizzlies.
That was Grizzlies. Yeah.
Yeah, the Grizzlies. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but Julius didn't come out to his guy on the 3-point line. Taj was running out for those guys, and as long as Gordon isn't taking those shots, and he won't probably be taking that many 3-pointers, still Julius needs to not lay off on that defensive end that much.
Yeah,
I definitely noticed that too, Andy. I think that Julius is doing a lot. I don't. There's nothing we can do about it this year, but hopefully we can give him some adequate rest next year. And he's been resting more, like toward the end of the season. It seems like to me. I haven't seen the box score to see the actual minutes, but it seems like he's getting more rest. But defensively, I'm just saying he's winded. Looks to me like it's just a lot to do both.
And it's for at least a couple of last games, because I noticed the trend happening. So and like I said before on the pregame show versus the Grizzlies, right? I said that Anderson, Brooks, they can make those threes. Not to mention Bane. And when I was, when I saw those guys just, getting that pass, there was really no one around them. And, always Julius was under the basket and Taj was running out to get his man. Yep. So I was like, you better pay for Taj's dinner tonight, because, he was saying he's behind, bro, and Tibbs. And I bet you Tibbs is going to, call him out in the video room. But since we won, he might not make a storm out of it. But I think, that needs to be noticed. And I bet, Julius not going to be really mad about it, because he's doing great stuff on the offensive end. Right. But, like we saw, the defense, we fell off a little bit on the defense, but we, gained on the offensive end. So, we got to balance that out going to the playoffs and, try to find the perfect, situation.
Yeah. And listen, I think Julius knows, Julius he's intelligent. And I think he knows, if he's not, if he had some defensive lapses and isn't playing the type of defense that you expect from him, I think he expects for Tom Thibodeau to come at him, right? He spoke about it in an interview, with what's his name from that was playing with New Orleans. I can't think of his name now, but
Redick.
Yep, with JJ Redick.
Yeah,
he spoke about it with JJ Redick, that he's been waiting to have this kind of a coach. So I think that he expects it and would accept it, and Tom Thibodeau's going to give it. So, Kev, what's your take, man? Do you think?
Wait, Kev. But before you let Kev go, and then Andy want to say something. But Andy, to your point, sorry, Denver Nuggets, they play a high intensity game, more fast paced than us. You think is that what they're gonna do, Andy? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's their only chance versus us. They can, pass the ball to Jokic and make, him play the game, but I don't think he's gonna, even if he scores 40 points on us, I don't think he's gonna be able to win the game without the fast pace of the Denver Nuggets. But what I was trying to, also mention with Randall and him skipping his guy, out on the 3-point line. I'm just happy he's not like LeBron. LeBron would be pointing out to his teammates, why is nobody guarding him, right? So I'm just happy Randall's not like, losing his man and then blaming his teammates for not guarding his guy. So I'm just happy about that.
Yeah.
So Kev, do you think? Listen, the Knicks are on this stage right now where you looked at Denver, Phoenix, the Clippers, the Lakers. And in their mind, they want to prove to everybody that they deserve to be mentioned in these top teams in the NBA. I mean, listen, they've won 3 in a row. They've won 9 of their last 10 games. They've been over the last month. They've been maybe the best offensive team in the league, or one of the top 3 offensive teams in the league, one of the top 10 defensive teams in the league. So I think they want to prove that they're one of the top teams in the league. With so many injuries, does this prove anything for the Knicks? I mean, I know they want to get the win. They're going out to get the win because it has playoff implications. But in your mind, would this say, hey, they are a top team if they beat this Nuggets team?
Respond without saying
Yes, they are. The reason why I say that is because of the body of work, and I'm trying to keep my composure till I'm finished. The body of work between the coaching staff and the team, the body of work is just impeccable. They've really, 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 I did it. They've really distinguished themselves as a workhorse team. And it's not our fault that players are coming in and coming out. We can only play who's out there. And if it just so happens, for this Denver Nuggets team, unfortunately Murray's out with a bad injury and all these other guys are out, that I feel bad for them, but I don't feel bad for us because we got to play who's in front. I mean, we've been playing without Mitchell Robinson for like how long? From his hand to his foot.
His foot.
Yeah, it's what about almost 2 months, pretty much.
Yeah,
Am I right,
I mean, he came back for like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah,
and then went right back out.
He's been out ever since. I mean, so were people going to feel sorry for us because people thought at that position that we were going to be divulged of, rim protection? No, we moved on Noel to the starting, and then had Taj Gibson, and then this last game we just had Taj Gibson and Pell. So no one was feeling sorry for us, and we just went out there and did the job. So I believe that we're going to do the job tonight. That's all that really matters. The
thing is, I agree with you. I'm just asking: does the win? Does it mean the same because of who's out? Does it say, hey, they beat the Nuggets? They are a top team because they beat the Nuggets.
It means the same. You know why? For this particular game right here, we have not beaten the Nuggets at home since I did it again. We haven't beaten them since what, 2006, I think it is.
2006, yeah.
Yeah, 2006.
Since Melo left.
Since Crawford hit that shot off them. That was back in 2006. We haven't beaten them at home since. So no, I'm not gonna, throw a fit because their star players aren't here that we didn't beat them at their best. I don't care. I just want this win right here. So
a win is a win.
Okay.
And if we do win this, then we've won three games on the road on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And we got another 3 more.
Okay. All right.
But Kev, you know why Sim said that question is because you know how fans are going to be, or other people going to be like,
Oh, of course,
but
of course.
Joker wasn't there.
Those are those pessimists.
Yeah,
those are those Knicks pessimists.
Yeah.
That's what. That's all it is those Knicks pessimists. And unfortunately, I got to give G-Man some dap here. I don't even pay no attention to him. I really don't. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Okay, you can put your hands down now. All right, I've given you your credit.
How does that taste coming out of your mouth?
Yeah, that's why I got some Jolly Ranchers just to get that taste out my mouth.
All right, so let's take a look at the lineup matchups for tonight.
Hate him.
All right, and talk about these matchups and ways that the Knicks can capitalize on any weaknesses and mitigate any of their strengths. All right, so let's take a look at it over here. You got Elfrid Payton for the Knicks. You got Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and now Nerlens Noel. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw Nerlens Noel in there since Nerlens Noel is going to be active tonight. All right, so let's go ahead and throw him in there. All right, and then for the Denver Nuggets, you got Facundo Campazzo, Austin Rivers. I'm assuming it's going to be Austin Rivers. All right, remember, these are projected lineups, so it could change. Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. All right, so looking at those matchups, first off, Jokic, right? Every game we come in and we're worried about their big man. And every game we seem to do very well against their big men. Okay, Nerlens Noel, he's maybe coming in a little bit banged up. Of course, Jokic, he's probably the leading MVP candidate. Okay, he can do it all. He can score. He can take it inside, outside. He can pass the basketball, rebound the basketball. He does it all. Andy, what are we doing against Jokic?
We're just crossing our fingers and hope those wild shots don't fall, bro. That's the only thing you can do versus him. He takes those wild up to the sky shots that when they drop it, it feels like a bomb. So I just hope he doesn't make them tonight. And he's probably gonna get a triple-double, but he's basically averaging that. So it's not gonna be like something unusual for him. Then again, it's like people say. The question is, probably they want to win, right? But if they're really resting that many of these players, they might be looking, to the last couple of games. They rather take a W versus, at least get a W versus a West Coast opponent than an East Coast one. Yep. They're going to try to get a W. Don't get me wrong. They're not going to tank this game. But, I think they might have something, planned for the next couple of games, because it looks, basically it looks too easy for the Knicks, so many guys out and stuff like that. We got, of course, Mitch out, which we knew before, but we're basically back to full strength after Mitch, right? Pell he was like a third string or even a fourth string if you count Mitch in, so he was a fourth string center. And and Burks is getting the conditioning to get on the court back and playing his minutes. So if Netherlands can play that, then basically we saw this team play. So I'm just hoping we can hold it up and get a W.
Now, see, the thing is, I understand what you're saying with Denver, but they really can't. I'm not sure what they want to do, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know that the positioning in the West is really crazy, and you can't out take a game of a pause or stuff like that. But then again, it's if they're really hurt, I understand that they're gonna be lacking that many amount of players. But it might be crazy, right?
I mean, the thing is this. Here's the thing: the Nuggets are 43-22. Right? They have tonight is going to be there. They've already played 65 games. They have 7 games left. If they win tonight, I don't know what their record is against the Mavericks or the Lakers.
Western Standard.
Right. But if they win tonight, then they can lose. They'll have 44 wins, 22 losses with 6 games left. Even if they lost the remaining 6, they'd have 28 losses. The Mavericks have 28 losses. The Lakers have 28 losses. 2 more wins, and they lock up the 4th seed. Right? They're already in the playoffs. 2 more wins, and they lock up that 4th seed. I would think that they really do want to win tonight so that they can lock up the 4th seed.
But you know what, Sam? They're a half game behind the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
So if you win, if you go on a winning streak, you could possibly move into 3rd. Right. And now you're facing the Lakers as everything stays the same in the first round. I would rather play Dallas. So you got to mix it up with some wins and some losses.
Right. That's
stay in the 4th.
Exactly. That's another thing. That's why it's such a crazy situation over there, because I'm pretty sure the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Jazz, none of them, I'm sure they don't want to play the Lakers in the first round. And the Lakers may not have all their chemistry together and all of that. But
you still don't want that problem.
Still don't exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
But LeBron is going to be out. He's still got that ankle injury. He's still going to be out, though.
No, he's been back, but he's in and out of the lineup.
Yeah.
But he's in and out the lineup.
Yeah, he's busy complaining about the playing game.
Yeah. I mean, so it's a tough situation over there in the West. But I would think that they at least want to lock up the 4th seed, because that's they secure home court advantage. Right, so maybe they don't want to move up to the 5th, to the 3rd, but they definitely, I would think, they want to lock up that 4th seed. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
You said they don't want to move up. You think they probably lose games just so they don't move up to such and such spot? You want to stay in a certain position, or?
Well, I'm going to say this. I think once they lock up the 4th seed, they rest who they got to rest. So if they won tonight and locked up the 4th seed, I don't know what their win-loss record is against the Mavericks or the Lakers or the Trailblazers, because those are the teams that are closest to them, to the Nuggets. All right. Well, actually, I'm sorry. The Trailblazers are out of it. If the Nuggets win tonight, the Trailblazers, there's no way that they could have a better record than the Nuggets. I don't know what their record is against the Mavericks and the Lakers. If they've beaten those teams and they've won the season series, and then the Nuggets win tonight, then they lock up the 4th seed and they don't have to worry about it. And if it was me, then I'd probably kind of rest my guys. Say, I'll rest my guys. We'll chill right here. So I would think that they want to win tonight.
Yeah, but then again, Sim, if you're saying that they only need 2 wins out of 7, being a 4th seed on the West, it's like, we can take this game off and we just got to win 2 games out of 6. So, that still might be their thinking, and it might be a possibility if they have, maybe a Orlando or Detroit game, whatever, they can just,
well,
X that one out and
cruise,
thinking like that.
Yeah. No,
and don't get banged up versus the Knicks, because the Knicks play physical. So maybe they're like, we don't want to get banged up even. So
and you might be right, Andy. You might be right, because look, they play us tonight, then they play Utah, then they play Brooklyn, then they play Charlotte, and then back-to-back games they play Minnesota and Detroit. And you look at that right there, could lock it up if they need to. So yeah, you could.
It's amazing. It's amazing what a year makes. Around this time last year, we were talking about who we were going to get in the draft, and this year we're talking about meaningful games.
That's
we were talking about the draft in January last year, so
it's May. Yeah, exactly.
Before February,
we were signing free agents already in May.
Great times, man. Last year. Great times, man. Great times. You got to embrace it.
And of course, the Knicks, they want to make sure that they maintain the 4th spot. Okay, they're 37-28. They're a game and a half above Atlanta. They're 36-30.
And
they're
Atlanta
2.5 games. What'd you say?
Atlanta lost. Atlanta lost, right? G-Man?
No,
Well, I'm talking about
Atlanta.
I'm talking about right now. Atlanta is 36-30.
Okay.
Right now, Atlanta is 36-30. Right.
That's right.
The Knicks are a game and a half above Atlanta tonight. Right now, they are 2.5 games above Miami, 3 games above Boston, 5 games above Charlotte. All right. So the teams that are really contending with the Knicks for that spot are the Hawks, Miami, and Boston. Those are the teams contending, and you know, while the Knicks have a nice little lead, you know, a nice lead over Miami in Boston and Charlotte.
Yeah, because Miami lost again. Yeah.
Right. You know,
Miami lost again.
You know, it's kind of tight with Atlanta. And the Hawks.
We need for Phoenix to handle their business tonight, and we need to handle our business.
Yeah,
exactly.
We need Phoenix to handle it. And look, if Phoenix if Phoenix goes into Atlanta and wins that game, and we come out with a win in Denver, we'll be 2.5 games above Atlanta with, you know, 6 games to go.
Right?
6 games to go. And that's a nice little cushion. You still got work to do, but that's a nice cushion. Let me ask you guys this.
We got the tiebreaker too.
And we got the tiebreakers, exactly. Let me ask you this, Steph. If the Knicks lock up the 4 seed, let's say in the next 4 games, they lock up the 4 seed, you got 3 games left. You're not moving up to the 3rd seed. You can't move down to the 5th seed. Right? You locked up the 4th seed. Do you rest?
I would. I don't think Tibbs will though.
Exactly.
But I would definitely do that. I think Randall is. I'm not gonna say he's shot, but he can use some rest. A lot of the players on the team can use some rest. So maybe I don't think Tibbs would not play them, but maybe he could play them less minutes, like
modify,
expand the rotation and give people other players some significant minutes.
Modified.
I don't think he will, but that's what I would do.
Yeah. Would you, Kev? Would you rest players if we lock up that 4 seed? Because once the Knicks lock up the 4 seed, they're in that spot no matter what happens the remainder of the season.
Right.
I wouldn't rest them, but I would modify their minutes and let the benches get more run. Once we've locked it up, that's what we're talking about. We got to lock it up first, and then we can have that conversation. But again, if we lock it up, I'd let them play, but it'd be just like in the preseason. Let them play a little bit, and then sit them out.
Okay.
Because of momentum, I'm afraid of losing momentum.
I know that's the thing.
Randy for like 4. I mean, Randall for 4 games.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Right. And
exactly.
Yeah, that is big. That is big. Chop, what about you? What would you do, Chop? What would you do, Chop?
I would do exactly what Kev said. Modify the minutes. Yeah. If we lock up that spot, basically, I want to see Cornrow Frank for Cornerstone Cash.
Okay.
No, but basically,
I've accepted his fate. Other people can't accept their other players' fate, but I've accepted Frank's fate. It's only situational. And unfortunately, situational has not come very, very often. So it don't matter to me.
And now Luka's in the building.
You see, I wish it didn't go. I wish the protocols and everything and didn't happen like that. Where he probably would have came here maybe like tonight and just be on the road with everybody, like you fly in, whatever. Frank ain't gonna get no burn. But to see what he gonna do, you know what I'm saying? Listen, Kevin Knox needs some burn too. Let's see what you understand? Get these guys some burn. If we lock up that 4th spot, let the other guys get some burn.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I just want to be careful of. I mean, I'd give some of them guys some burn too. You know what I'm saying? Let them guys get on the court. Just want to be careful of not breaking the rhythm, making sure that these guys continue to play with rhythm.
Exactly.
And
you know,
you
Tibbs is
don't
not going to be like that. You know that, Coach.
Yeah.
He's not gonna...
and see, the scary thing is always you lose 3 games down the stretch. You got the 4th seed locked up. You lose 3 games, no matter who's on the court. And sometimes those things can stick with you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes those things can stick with you. So
mental, right?
Gotta be careful.
Yeah,
you got to be careful. Let me take a look at the keys to the game for tonight. My keys to the game. The keys to the game, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, no defensive lapses. In the last 10 games, the Nuggets are top 10 in points, field goal percentage, and assists. I know they got injuries, but they're still playing at a high level. Number 2, we got to take care of the basketball. In the last 10 games, the Nuggets are top 10 in points off of turnovers. And they're 6th in opponents' turnovers. All right, so they create turnovers and then they score. So we've got to take care of the basketball. We had the same key against the Memphis Grizzlies. And I said, well, I want them to stay under 10 turnovers. They kept it to 8. We need to do the same thing tonight. Keep it under 10 turnovers. We got to play team defense, strong rotations and closeouts. You got a guy in Jokic who can facilitate from the post. He's good at finding cutters. Right? We've got to continue to play that strong defense, team defense with strong rotations and closeouts. Continue to play efficient offense. All right, we can't get into a one-on-one game, one-on-one play, and all that kind of stuff. And then, let's just rise to the challenge. This is still a team that's playing well. Right? They lost their last game, but they've still been on a tear. We need to rise to the challenge and beat them. And they may not be at their, I don't even want to say may. They are not at the pinnacle, right? They're not the strongest that they can be, but they're still a good team. We need to take care of them. And then we got, a super matchup with Phoenix. All right, but those are my keys to the game, ladies and gentlemen. Anything that you guys want to add there? I'll start with you, G-Man. Yeah, I'm gonna start with G-Man. Then I'm gonna get down to crossover. I'm gonna get to you, crossover.
I had a coaching question. For
still put it in your pocket. Put it in your pocket.
We're gonna get to you, crossover.
Put it in your pocket. Stay for later. All right. All right.
Okay. So, put those digits in your pocket too. You know what I'm saying?
So what I'm going to say is this, and I agree with everything you just said, Sims, and my takes are pretty much in line with yours. Like I always say, I believe in fundamental basketball, right? And you touched on it. Limited turnovers, make your free throws, and we got to get defensive rebounds. We cannot allow these guys to get second and third chances on the offensive board. We just can't have that. And I know people to talk about Joker maybe day to day. So when I see stuff like that, and you say day to day, that means that you already have in your mind you plan to rest Joker at certain aspect. He may play a little bit, but he won't play. In my mind, he's not going to play the length of the game. And this may be a game that the Nuggets are thinking about. I can afford to kind of let this one slip away if it does, just based on who I need to have on the court and who I don't. But for the Knicks, it really doesn't matter. Whoever laces up and steps out on that floor, that's who we're playing against. And what they got to be ready for is physical basketball. So you got to ask yourself, if you're a Nugget, who am I willing? I'm not going to say sacrifice, but who am I willing to put out there on that floor and go 12 rounds in a heavyweight bout with the New York Knicks for this win? And you got to ask yourself what that looks like. So, but I think at the end of the day, we come out with a win in this game. What I'm looking for is building blocks. Based on the way that we played against the Grizzlies, we should be able to build on that. And Tibbs should be able to kind of just continue to refine what he's going to be doing when we hit the playoffs.
And he's game planning, right, Uncle G? He's game planning already.
Absolutely, he is. Tibbs is one of those guys that I truly believe there's nothing that he does without he's thinking second and third order effects, right? If I play this guy in this rotation, look at the different rotation. How many different rotations did we have against the Grizzlies? I mean, they were mixing and matching people all over the place, right? So to me, that says Tibbs is looking for things in case something happens and I can't get my desired matchup on the floor. I can sub this person for this person, or if this goes wrong, then I got this asset I can kind of plug and play. So he continues to do that. But at the end of the day, I want this win. I want this win.
Yeah.
So, G-Man, you going to order a 20-piece chicken nuggets or maybe like a 30-piece chicken nuggets with extra sweet and sour and barbecue sauce?
No. Chop tonight. I'm getting me a supersized 20-piece chicken McNuggets, right? I want the salty fries from McDonald's, right? And then I want that sweet tea that you get from McDonald's. The sweet tea that tastes just like you know what I'm saying? That's what I want tonight from in the Mile High Steak. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want.
Right. Hey, Steph, anything you want to add to those keys to the game?
I do. Can you put it up one more time?
Yeah, let me get that on over here. And let me
Well, just read off the first one.
There you go.
It's the first one. No defensive lapses. And one of the things, when I was looking at the lineups, Randall and RJ having to play Gordon and MPJ. So now they're going to have to be good on both sides of the court because we need them offensively, but we also need them defensively. They can't really take any plays off, right? So those two guys have to be really keyed in because, like I said earlier, if they get off to good starts, they can score 30 points in a game easily, right? And it's harder to put out a fire than it is to prevent one, right? So that's those two. None of us can have defensive lapses, but those two specifically, I'm really interested in how well they play defensively. And as far as taking care, of the ball, we're a low turnover team, so hopefully we keep it that way. Because, like you said, they're pretty good with points off for turnovers.
Yeah. We got to keep it that way. 8 turnovers versus the Memphis Grizzlies. I'd like to have a repeat performance tonight. Andy?
Right.
You guys all, covered up. I'm not going to add anything else.
All right. Well, look, it's going to be a tough one tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a tough one. And you see the keys to the game. I'm going to repeat it one more time. All right, our keys to the game tonight. No defensive lapses. The Denver Nuggets in their last 10 games, they're top 10 in points, field goal percentage, and assists. All right, we got to take care of the ball. In their last 10 games, the Nuggets, they're top 10 in points off turnovers. They're 6th in opponents and creating turnovers. All right, we got to keep up with the team defense. Strong rotations. You got a guy, Nikola Jokic, who can he can distribute the basketball from the post, and that could be dangerous. All right, he can get cutters. He can get guys flaring out to the three-point line. He can do it all. We got to continue to play efficient offense, no one-on-one stuff, and then rise to the challenge. If this is one of the games that you had circled, one, because they blew you out and killed you the last time, and second, because you want to prove that you can compete with the best of them, then let's go get this game here. You know what I'm saying? Let's go get this game. Kev,
Uncle
anything
Sim,
you want to add?
Sim.
Let me get the Kev.
Before Kev go, Uncle Sim, G-Man said something that was very key to your keys of the game.
Did he really?
Yes, he did. I'm sorry. Listen, Cornerstone, don't beat me. I'm so sorry. He's gonna put me in the garage.
I'll let it go.
Sorry.
I'll let it go today.
Go ahead, Chop. What was you gonna say?
Offensive rebounds is key because offensive rebounds leads to also fast break points and second chance points, and that was tied into Sim's key of the games, if you will, for us, if you will. He said the offensive rebounds. Is that a fact?
Yeah, definitely. We got to get those offensive rebounds because they're a team that they can run, they can push the ball, they can run, and they can score in transition. So we got to get those offensive rebounds. Kev, go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, what I was going to say, we just have to come out with the same intensity that I've expected to see, what we've all expect to see from the body of work that they've put forth. They got to rebound the ball, play hard-nosed defense, and their offense, man, I never thought I'd be saying this, at least for this year. Their offense is really stout right now. I don't know what they're ranked offensively, but it is really, really coming along and everything. I'm really impressed with them. But what I was going to ask you, Sim, Coach Sim, how would you defend Jokic?
Oh man, it's difficult to defend that guy. I think I think one of the best things you do is make him a scorer, in my opinion. He's already a scorer. Make him drop 40 or 50. Cut off those.
You gotta bully him, Unc.
Who you bullying him with? With who? With
Randall.
Yeah,
okay. In his red nose.
It's not happening, bro. Look, I think you let him score, make him score 40 or 50 on you if he has to. Cut off those lanes to everybody else. Don't let him distribute the basketball and be a facilitator out there. I think that's what I do because you're not gonna stop him anyway.
Yeah,
just hope to contain him.
Right, you're not gonna stop him anyway. He's gonna get buckets. So I think you try to cut off those passing lanes, stop guys from flashing to the basket where he can find cutters going to the basket. You know what I'm saying? Make him score on Nerlens Noel every time. And Nerlens Noel's going to get some stops.
He has a triple-double record, maybe. Yeah, right. He could make the assist pass. He could. Right.
Yeah, and Noel's going to get some stops. And when you get those stops, you got to make sure you convert. But I want him to score 50 tonight. Make him have to score high. Because if he's doing that, there's a bunch of other people that's not performing well, most likely. You know what I'm saying? And unless he's going to score 104, I think that's you're going to give yourself a chance. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, versus Jokic, what I would try to do, even if he scores or takes a shot, his defender should run out, to the fast break because we could do that long pass. He doesn't turn back and run fast on defense.
Right.
So we gotta, try to take advantage of that, which means him coming back to defense is really slow. His transition defense is bad because, if he gets back into that, key, he can orchestrate that defense, their whole defense. So till they get it set up back, we still got a chance for an easy bucket. So
what you're saying,
I would try at least to do that.
Okay, so what you're saying is, in his case, in Taj's case, and Noel's case, once that we get the rebound, have whoever sprint up the floor to beat him. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
he's not sprinting fast like that.
I would try to do it, but Taj is not the fastest guy. That's cool. You're not going to be running a 35-year-old guy. And Nerlens, I don't think he can catch a long pass like that. So that's going to be a problem.
The guards should be back. The guards are there to prevent the fast break. That's their job. So don't reinvent the wheel. Kev, come on.
I ain't trying to invent the wheel. I'm just trying to go on what Andy was saying. God darn, man. Really?
Andy was actually saying that Jokic is much of a slower player, pace player, where he knows his spots. He can score no matter what the defense is. He's not going to be running up and down the court, but he can make the pass.
Thank you, Chop. I appreciate it, brother. Because sometimes you got to break it down in Barney style.
You guys got to relax.
I'm gonna get that round trip ticket. Right? Keep it up.
Hey Tony, what's going on with you, man?
Hey Tony,
what's up with you? How you feeling about today's game, man?
What's going on, Sam? Crossover Cast. Chop,
no, it's Cornerstone.
No, it's cornrow Frank.
I'll even take that too. That's fine. I'm no crossover.
G-Man for life.
You can't take cornrows. I can tell you that. You can't take cornrow. You definitely can't take that one.
Maybe on the stash, Sim.
Stash. I barely got that.
Go ahead, Tony.
So, Peace Queen. I don't know if you heard me through all the noise, but
Peace.
So one of the things I wanted to say about Jokic is, Well, one, I heard y'all saying about Noel's is back. Norland's is back.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. But I actually like. I mean, I like both matchups, but I was going in thinking Taj was going to be starting, and I really like Taj matched up against Jokic, because what a lot of people try to do is use athleticism against them, their own athleticism, and he's too savvy for that. And I think you need a savvy guy defending him, and we've seen what Taj has done throughout his career. So I wouldn't be mad at that matchup whenever we see that. Now New Orleans he doesn't really use his athleticism too much against defenders or on defense, so he should be fine as well. But my only concern is that pump fake. He likes to go for blocks, so that's my only concern with New Orleans. Stay on your feet, and if he shoots over you and scores, live with it.
Right.
Like you said, Sim, I think the more he scores, Jokic, the better we are.
Right.
People got to watch those backdoor cuts. RJ, even Bullock, we've seen him, fall victim to that a few times. But those we watch the backdoor cuts, and then just let Jokic do what he's gonna do. Don't try to use brute force. Don't try to use your athleticism. Use your brain.
See your ball, see your man.
Use your IQ. Yeah. And if he shoots over you, live with it. Make it tough, but live with it. Don't because that's how he gets you. He gets you in the air. He might throw up a little shot and then just get his own rebound real quick and push it back up. Stay on your feet and guard him well. And I think we'll be fine. Protect the back door. And if guys kill you, if guys shoot over you, if guys are hitting shots, you live with that. But don't fall victim to that backdoor cuts and all that extra stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, Sam, I just want to let Kev know I'm definitely about to send Walt Clyde Frazier a tweet and let him know that Kev is up here on the pod still in his sand. How about that? You heard me, Kev. I know you heard me. You got that from Walt Clyde Frazier. And I know where you got it from because I watched the same program you watch. You heard me? I'm telling. I'm snitching, okay? I'm going to be a snitch today. How about that?
What are you snitching on? Because I'm just coming back to this. What did you say?
What'd you just say? What? Watch the ball, watch your man?
Yeah, watch
Where'd
the
you
ball,
get that from?
watch your man.
Where'd you get that from? You didn't come up with that.
I came up with that.
No,
I came up with that.
I'm sorry, Sam. I'm sorry, Sam. Let's move on.
It's all good.
Let's move on because Kev is in his. Oh, he is out of his mind right now.
Well, anyway, I'm about to head up out of here, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's please get out.
Let's
please get on out of here, man.
I do want to remind you. So tonight, I plan on being on Twitter Spaces just before the game, about 30 minutes before the game, and on Twitter Spaces.
What's that? You said Twitter Spaces?
Twitter Spaces, yeah, Twitter Spaces. So Twitter Spaces, it's basically part of the app where you could just talk. You know what I'm saying? And people can join in with me and talk and have a discussion about whatever I'm having a discussion about at that time. Of course, tonight is going to be about the game. I'll talk for about 30 minutes just before the game starts. And, probably talk about some of the same things, but we'll have a discussion, maybe kind of a new audience. Twitter Spaces, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll get the notification when I go live. All right, you won't see me, you'll just hear me. All right, so, if you're on Twitter, follow me at Nothing But Knicks on Twitter. All right, follow me at Nothing But Knicks on Twitter. As a matter of fact, also on Instagram. I don't use Instagram as much, but I'm getting into it.
I'm old. I can't use Instagram.
You know what I mean? I just haven't really. I know how to use it. I use it. I just haven't really gotten into the groove of it. You know what I'm saying? But follow me on Twitter. The Twitter Spaces. So you won't find Twitter Spaces. What'll happen is once I go live, up at the top of your app, you'll see. You'll see it up there. That says Nothing But Knicks is live on Twitter Spaces.
Okay.
So what about the Wix app?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, the Wix app is still there. What I'm saying, but it doesn't have space. It doesn't have that type of capability on the Wix app. So, follow me on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and I'm putting it in the YouTube chat so you can follow me there. And yeah, it's just at nothing but Knicks. Follow me on Instagram.
You got the guard. Is your backdrop? That's the page.
My backdrop is the same as it is on YouTube's got, everybody that was at the Garden for one of those games.
Okay, so this is different.
You wasn't there, so there you go.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. I'll be on Twitter Spaces tonight. The game starts at 9, so about 8:30 or so, I'm gonna jump on there and just talk about the game a little bit. It's gonna be dope. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm up out of here. I appreciate your time. And yeah, let's go Knicks, man. Let's get this win tonight. 4 in a row. Let's do it. Out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Be peaceful, spread love, all of that.